Next time. Yes. Good morning and happy Sunday. It's so good to be together with all of you here today in this very special day. We're going to start by reading a message from the book Our Daily Bread by the Spiritual Manual through the loving hands of the medium Xavier. And the message for all of us today is number 97. The model. Hold to the standard of sound teaching. Hold into Timothy 1:13. And the message spread the resources that Providence has entrusted into your industrious hands. But do not forget that a comforting word to the afflicted represents an effort straight from your heart in the sowing of the good. Bread for the body is an act of charity, for each of you will be rightly compensated. But a friendly smile is a blessing that will last forever. Send messages to offer fraternal assistance, but do not overlook visiting Indian brothers and sisters now and then to listen to them in person. A group effort to promote assistance is a gesture that will win appreciation for you. Your direct assistance in helping the needy will prepare you spiritually to face your own battles. Note the dates and teach the help of redemption to all, and take a break from your lecture every now and then in order to listen to the stories of this terrible woman with a human experience, even if they are of the even if they are the offspring of the spirit or ignorance, so that you do not lose your sense of proportion as you progress. Cultivate the flowers in the private garden of your dearest relationships, because apart from the flower bed of experience, it is very difficult to attend to the noble and intensive timing of the soil. However, do not regularly flee into the forest, afraid that afraid of the burning monsters that live in it. For it is crucial that you prepare yourself to advance later on the quest. In the circle of life, do not forget the need for the teaching to be engaged within. Just as you do not get the individual nourishment to someone else or learn a lesson by storing it in someone else's memory, you will not be able to present yourself to the supreme powers of wisdom and love by way of accomplishments and features, not live or yourself. Thus, hold to the standard of sound teaching. Change, okay? Excellent. Friends, we invite everyone to pray. Remember, prayer is not a ritual. Prayer is communication with God. And when we do it together, there's a special, very special dynamic. I'm not gonna say magic because there's an explanation. When we connect with one another, it's more powerful. So let us do this prayer together, visualizing God's connection with us, His loving light enveloping all of us, and we feel the grace
of His loving care. Thank you, God, Mother, Father of all of us. Thank you for this reincarnation and for our mothers, vessels of your love, who forgot about themselves to give way to our lives. They forgot about their desires, sometimes even their dreams, to dream with us. May each one of them receive flowers of healing, enveloping their hearts and minds in so much love. Thank you, God. For the gift also of new beginnings, new reincarnation. And in this lesson of love, may everyone who is here with us incarnates and discarnates feel your presence, magnanimous and kind. We ask for your guidance, feel your protection, and we thank you for the permission you're granting us to be here. All right, friends, there's much to do, so let's go to the point. Today, our teams will go through the trivia on the book 2000 years ago by Emmanuel. They read it with us. They know the book. And now we're going to check it out. We're going to have prizes, fun prizes, huh? And we have new buzzers too. It's going to be so much fun. For our little ones, they're going to enjoy learning more about the elements of the universe, right? Yes. So let's go with the flow, friends. Miss Carol, Miss Daisy leading the way. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I'm just about to check when they change the slides. If they change their when I go, thank you. All right. Today we are learning about adolescence from a spiritist point of view. Okay, material, spiritual. But before we get there, we need to go through babyhood, toddler years, childhood years, and then preteen years, and then we get to adolescence. We think adolescence is way then, but it's earlier and earlier and earlier than before. I don't think it's about the food, social media. You know what they don't understand? Our planet evolved, and humanity is being reborn in new generations that are faster, more efficient. They don't need a long childhood anymore. Okay, we don't. So parents need to be prepared. Need to be prepared because when they turn 9, it was when we turned 12 at our time. I know it's crazy, but we need to adjust ourselves very quickly to facilitate what's going to happen in adolescence. Did you guys have a happy adolescence? Yes or no? Interesting, right? So many myths. People believing that adolescence is terrible, but I'll tell you right off the bat a secret. The greatest missionaries, they blossomed. in their adolescence. So when people, especially in America, tend to paint adolescence as something that is terrible, it's the voice of evil because that's the time when the good comes out. If we facilitate, there was a father who loved his son so much and wanted to protect him so much. And that's the, we're going to talk about from being permissive and liberal to being overly concerned. This father wanted to protect his son from all evil, much like others. And when he became a teen, an epidemic, just like COVID came to town, he could escape. So he told his son, I'm going to give you money. I'm going to give you shelter. So you're going to escape from here. So you're going to be shielded from all this. The son traveled. A week later, the father got a letter at a time when internet didn't exist, saying that his son died, not of the disease. He was murdered. Why? Because he used his money for gambling. Instead of doing something good, he used all that money to gamble. In the gambling, he got into a fight. In the fight, he died. You think I'm telling a story from the newspaper? No, it's from a spiritist book that was psychographed in Brazil, bringing us this message about blessed are the simple. Because sometimes we want to, especially when our babies are born, we have these dreams of shielding them and giving them 10,000 things. But you know what? When they go to school, everything you didn't want them to see, they will see. Everything you want to shield them from, they will be exposed to. Everything you educated them for, they're going to learn exactly the opposite. So when they come back from school, we have double work to counter condition them and to recondition them to the good. It's and when it comes to adolescence, it becomes ever more intense. Let's go through a little bit. Adolescence is often seen as a time of confusion, but Spiritism really helps us understand it's a sacred, purposeful stage in our spiritual journey. Let's read that time and again. Usually I don't read slides, but we're going to make this a memory for immortality. Adolescence is a sacred, purposeful stage. If the first 7 years of life, as Kardec in the first book, they are where we insert everything that they need because they're super plastic in their nervous system. The best time to teach is now when they don't speak. That's when you read to them 10,000 books, tell them stories, because when they start speaking, they listen. And some parents do the reverse. They don't talk to their children. No, they don't talk, so they don't talk. You're not gonna talk if you don't talk. They're not gonna learn. That's what, and we don't babyish them. No? We in spiritism learn. When you talk to them, you don't baby talk to them. You talk spirit to spirit. Love the right tone, but you tell them life is important. You see, for example, if you live here, so we tell her, let's listen to this. Yes, It shows us that and that's when we start speaking to them. They will learn and listen and listen. Listening to them. One of the best things to do for them is to sing. Because when they are adolescents, we want to sing, they don't let us sing. I was trying to sing this morning. Oh, happy day. And I had my turn singing in my car. And I was doing this oh, happy day while I was reading. Because it was taking a long time. You know when you come here from 50, right? That signal there, oh, happy day. And then Virginia's like, Mom, hold it. I'm trying to listen to the peace. That's adolescence, okay? Very creative. Of all things, right? So interesting. And I said, Virginia, it's Mother's Day, and today I can sing. I'm joking with you, but it's different. It is different. So let us understand physically, not blessings, okay? Some people, they bad mouth adolescents, they say, oh, you're going to get full of your mouths, you're going to be cursing. You're cursing it. There are many beautiful things happening. Physically, the development, the body reaches maturity. Mhm. They look like adults. They have a lot of strength. They're no longer the fragile kid. They have a lot of energy, a lot of vitality. You want to, especially what's holding up, and then they want to do everything. And you are trying to calm down. Vitality there. Their health is at the best. I mean, isn't this great? We wish it could last forever. That's why they're so blessed. Isn't this a blessing? It is. We're not going to tell them, oh, it's going to be crazy. No. It's when your youth, your beauty is going to be at the peak of your life. And you discover, you know, yourself, your body. You realize we have a body because you look at the babies and you don't realize they're you know, at adolescence, they learn, these kids have hair. You want to change the hair and you don't understand why. And you straight hair, straight hair, right? They have their own intellectual. There's a lot of their cognitive abilities are also sparky. The critical thinking is coming up, and then we're bothered by it because they have their opinion, and now we feel threatened. How come you agreed with everything I put on the plate? And I don't want to eat. Oh, teenagers, no more. Now they think what they like, what they don't like, how they like it, how they don't like it. Can we learn to respect it? You know what's interesting? The spiritual part, I'm going to pick up the book. We have to be books. They're the best things in our lives. Huh? This. Four parts. When you think it's too thick, too hard, remember Kardec, it dissolved by hand. Not computer, not typewriter. By hand. So when you think it's not think. He didn't have electricity, it was candlelight. He did it. Part three, the laws. Last law, summarizes it all. The law, my law of justice, love, and charity. And then Kardec so wisely asked the spirit, what is justice? And they said, it's to respect people's rights. So if we want to be a fair parent, we need to respect the right of our child to say, I don't like this. What can you do it? I asked Virginia what to do. This is one of the most delicious things in the world. Super inflammatory, we know, right? But come on, the taste buds are in it. It's a party. And then she says, ugh. I'm like, oh my gosh, good for you, because your boys are gonna be that inflamed for this cheese. But it's her choice, it's her right not to want it. There are things that are non-negotiable. Like it or not, you will learn to work because you need it. Non-negotiable. Coming to the spirit is saying non-negotiable. Important than food. More important than math because it's about moral growth. But there are things you can choose. The clothes, the way you wear the hair. If they want certain types of food, you need to respect. Critical thinking. Their imagination is also like their creativity flourishes. They have ideas that sometimes they shouldn't have. Like yesterday, I'll give you an example. You probably have experienced this. I cleaned the kitchen yesterday. I said, no, it's something, right? For the minute, some changes everything. And then we had dinner. Oh, I have an idea. Oh my Lord. I want to do souffle. Make a souffle. There's one here. It's very, I want to do pancake souffle. I saw in a reel, it happened in Japan, it's a trend. And then she wanted to do the, when you beat the white, it's very hard to do it by hand. And she's like, it's almost there, Mom. I said, it's not almost there, Virginia. I remember my grandma used to do it. She asked me to do it. It takes a while. Carlos, can you help us? Can we do it faster? And then we found a new mechanism. Soon enough, the kitchen was a mess. Am I going to be upset? No, I'm happy that she's creative, that she has the energy. And I said, okay, let's use that energy to clean it up too. I'm gonna help you. Or we're gonna help. But you can shut down that creativity and say, oh no, please, not now. No, the kitchen is clean. No, we're not gonna do it. Why you're always creating something? Then they are gonna be a depressed adult. The third thing, new opportunity will come up like in their education. They're going to learn what they're good at, their vocation, their hobbies. They're going to learn about relationships, all shaping up their personality, their identity. Coaches, that's who we are. The coach does not play in the field of the players. They are coaching. We can't be in the field. So we need to go home and say, we're coaching a teenager. I can't do it first. So I have to learn. When they're little, we have to be so close, little by little, the distance becomes greater physically, but emotionally, we're connected. Spiritually, we're present. And challenges are also blessings. Usually we think otherwise, but that identity and emotional turmoil seems difficult, but they are signs of what we call the soul awakening to self awareness. Now we're going to talk about the real thing. Why is it spiritually challenging? Because when they are born, To be born, we have to shrink the spiritual body. It's hard to explain how it is because it's another dimension. The spiritual body is not physical body. So it's not that we're shrinking the physical body, but there is like a compression. It's like a file you compress, and then when they reincarnate, you're decompressing. As they grow, you're decompressing. And you know when you have a compressed file, you decompress, starts opening all those files. At adolescence, all files. We're gonna see things. I didn't teach you this. You didn't teach you that. Are you people in school? No, it's something from previous lives. And if in those lives, they had experiences that were very strong, they will gravitate to them. I remember when I was a teenager, I had a boyfriend who was Italian descendant. I don't know much about though my family is Italian descendant. His father was Italian. So the Italian heritage was in our faith. They were nice. When we broke up, suddenly in me came, I want to go to Italy. And I wanted to go to Italy. I don't know why. And it became like an obsession. So at 19, I went to Italy. And I lived in Italy for a year. My parents were like, Vanessa, where is this coming from? I don't know. I was a very good nerd. But why did you stop your college to go there? I know I need that. I need it. I need to go there. I need to study there. My teacher at college said, Vanessa, she was Italian in Brazil. She said, you're better off studying Europe. I said, okay, let me go to Europe. So I worked, saved my money. My father also gave his help. I went there, spent a year. He said, you know, so loved it. I lived in Rome for a year. Loved it. It was a fascination about Rome. And then I came back. When I came back, I graduated with my class, and I wanted so badly to go back to Rome. My mom said, you're spiritist, right? She said, Vanessa, something is off. I don't think this is in your reincarnatory plan to go back. I think it's not about a past life. Let me bring you to the Spiritist Center and then you do a fraternal counseling. You don't know we have this service too. Fraternal counseling. So I went to the Spiritist Center and I talked to this man named Professor Garcia. He sat down with me and I'll never forget what he said in other words. I'll say it in Portuguese and in English. Você é uma cabritinha. Você precisa virar uma ovelhinha. You are like a little goat. You need to become a sheep. Like you want to go back to where you were in previous lives. So they did this obsession meeting and they saw that every night I would go to sleep and go back to ancient Rome, not this Rome, ancient, missing things that I had there. But that was not for this life anymore. Suddenly, through the spiritual treatment, which by the way we have in our center too, we have obsession meetings in our center. I felt like that craziness about going back to Rome disappeared. I was at peace and I embraced Brazil again. And then I did the rest of what I needed to do and then came to the United States, the new Rome. I would say it's the new Rome. But I would say this. I'm sharing this with you because These files will pop up in our adolescence. And the parents need to do what my mom did. Say, let's check this out. Let's get you taken care of so you really get your mind. You don't waste time. We can't go back to where we were before. We need to accept this reincarnation. It's a challenge. That search for independence is very natural. It's about learning free will and responsibility. So we need to learn how to be coaches, allowing them to go farther away, come back. Like last Sunday, we had a session. I couldn't be here because Carlos and I had to be at the Spirit Fest with the booth of the SSVA. And we said, Virginia, you go to the center, do your lesson because you can't miss it, and then us. It was the perfect time. That freedom came back into my midst so much. They go, until they stay, but we're still connected because they have to try. They have, we can't expect that our children will be taking care of us. It's not fair. If they want you to, but we shouldn't expect it. Because I know parents who have children and start saying, remember, I gave you this, you have to give me that. Parents saying this. Selfish. Peer influence. They will be influenced. Recently, Virginia and her friends to a Battle of the Books competition. They were on my car. When I saw from the rear mirror the way she was speaking to everybody, she was the youngest. She sounded like the oldest. Loud. Oh my gosh, Virginia, you saw her when she was little? So quiet. So she's using words that we don't say at home. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah, things are changing. But that's the time we teach them social values, empathy, and cooperation. So we bring them to the homeless service in DC, to the shelters. Some parents think that we kids are about entertaining children so they have. What are we going to do with the kids? We can, they need some fun other time. So we're going to teach them what? Life is the happiness of a quiet home. We're not here to entertain our kids. Oh, they have to have a play date. They have to have something fun. They have the fun is like yesterday. We left the DC group, right, Felipe, John, and we went to the shelter in Fort Belvoir to visit a friend who used to be brought in here. Now she's far away, and to bring the peanut butter jelly sandwiches that we made in DC yesterday. It didn't work. The night we were eating, like, I don't want this. And I remember the chef. People would love to have this. Oh, Mom, I don't want it. I said, okay, fine. At least you know what they have, what they don't have, what you have, you need to give. And then teach and teach and teach that they were not here, they're on their own. Spiritually speaking, Kardec says that the child's spirit from birth bring with it the sum of the experiences of previous lives. And adolescence is the moment when the person begins. But if you observe your baby, you're gonna see it's there. I remember, Virginia, in my belly, the things that I felt. That was unique to the time when she was with me, when she was in my belly. Because I knew me from before and then when I was pregnant. And then babyhood. If you observe the baby, you see what is coming up. Their amazing abilities and the things that you feel like are weak. We need to strengthen. At in adolescence, these things will be the first thing we need to teach our kids is to see others. Say, right? I'll give you an example. On Friday, I was at a lunch and there were three toddlers, 3-year-olds, beautiful, at our table. Beautiful children, but peculiarities. This sister wanted her sister's thing. She didn't want hers. She wanted what the sister. It was the same. And because she didn't have what the sister had, she started. You see the spirit? Hmm? They want. That's why they are born together, to learn to share, not to steal from others. But it's there, that tendency. As early as 2 years old. And then the other one, as beautiful as she is, but you see the little things that we need to adjust. She started crying just because the little crayon was not the way she wanted it. What do parents do? They pick them up, don't say anything. No, 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 no. We caress, especially here. This is a good thing to do with babies. Children. There's a chakra on the back of the neck. That's where spirits attach ourselves. When you caress, not only physically we're stimulating the release of endorphins, which calm us down, it's very soothing, but spiritually we're detaching the spirits that are trying to mess up with the lives of our children. And you see, look, now we're in a restaurant. We create a fuss here. People are trying to eat. Oh, Vanessa, there too. Remember, we're teaching them to learn to see others, not only themselves. If we try to teach them at adolescence today, as early as they are, now it's time to listen, time to allow others to be. We're here. If it's is it too cold, not too late. So we need to do it from the get-go because when the things appear from previous lives, they need to have that foundation. If they were conditioned well in childhood, when those tendencies of the past come, they're going to be counterbalanced by what we okay? So our reincarnation, according to Spiritism, each reincarnation is planned by the spirit before birth with the help of spiritual men. So when they say, oh, this family, because some kids say, or teenagers, I don't belong here. Hey, let me tell you, break the news. Huh? You chose this. And you begged for this. And you wanted it. No, no, no. Adolescence is the moment the spirit begins to fully manifest the tendencies. This is in Kardec's books, the third book, verses 233 to 84. Revealing tendencies from past lives. And that's when moral awakening happens. During adolescence, the conscience becomes more active. That's why it's important to come to the Spiritist Center, do spiritual treatment. How often my parents brought us, all of us, and 4 brothers, to Spiritist Center, doing on and off spiritual treatments too. rebalance ourselves, rebalance, talking to the director of the center, you're going to go through this thing in this life. And then the third, my parents, thank God, since we were teenagers, they had therapists and tutors. Because we were troubled, oh, just because they wanted us to be well adjusted. And you don't need somebody to be anxious, depressed to take to therapy. She has a therapist. She's the one who's why. Just you need to know how to deal with this, that, and the other. Is it a problem? No. You go talk to the oh, but today I'm doing yeah. Today you're doing it. You just tell her. You talk to her. She has a way to figure this out. Talk, deal with the emotion, sort out emotion. Because the past is coming. And you're like, in this life I'm a nobody, but in another life I'm no, no, no. In this life is the best life we've ever had. So we need to have patience to build it. This is the ideal time for moral education where spiritual guidance can shape future decisions. I'll give you a glimpse. Right now, they are doing the trivia, okay? So they studied the book 2,000 years ago. We broke it down in 7 weeks. They didn't have to read the book. We were using slides, text to show them, and we would stop at certain moments to do the activities for them to reflect and learn about the moral way. I'll give an example. That book is like a super Netflix series. Huh? I can imagine that they're gonna do it. Oh my gosh, they're gonna be so good because there's a moment in which these couples are married and there are single guys and the mess that they create amongst themselves. And this was ancient Rome, by the way. And they were like, they're doing this. Yeah, but at this age, you need to know that this happens because it's happening nowadays. And then they start telling us how their friends in school, the crushes, the friends who cheat, they all betray them in their friendship because they like the same person, and some forgive, others don't forgive. You see, it's happening in their lives. They're reading in the book, and we're saying, what is right, what is wrong? And then we take the spiritist books to guide them. So in a fun way, they learn the story and they get to reflect on it. When they go back to their settings, school, etc., they will think about the north of what would you do if there was a lesson because there's a lot of betrayal and cheating. What would you do if you like the person that is married to somebody else? Because it talks about it in the book. Would you do what Pontius Pilate did? Would you do what Phobia did? Or would you do it as Agrippa did? He realized his brother's getting married to the woman he loved. He didn't create a problem. He traveled far away to stay away from creating. What would you do? Because these things happen. We don't want them to happen. Shaping your future decisions. Many adolescents carry missions, important missions, even if they are unaware of it. Spiritism teaches that every soul, even a young one, has value and responsibility in the spiritual collective. So that's where families and society come in. Families are key instruments in guiding adolescents, offer love, discipline, and spiritual education. So at home, praying with baby Olivia, singing songs that talk about God, the guidance of life, praying with them. We do a special God at home with our kids. At home, we have one for Carlos and I, and one with Virginia. Carlos, Virginia, but it's for her, tailored for her. When she was young, we had crayons, people. We would tell her story with moral value, and she would draw. When she knows that that moment the family is getting together to thank God. This is very good. One that I received from my grandparents, from my parents, and I want to pass it on to you. Spirit is education. Coming here. They call it civilization, but it's actually spiritual education. And society one day will help us reach those days. Unfortunately, we're not there yet. At the end of the day, this is how we're going to end. Adolescence is not a problem to solve, but a blessing to nurture. Listen to this. Huh? It is on us. But our ego needs to step aside. Huh? When our ego is too big, we clash. So we needed to learn how to be reactive as parents when they bring those novelties. Step back and talk. And when we make mistakes, tell them, sorry I spoke to you in that way. I'm sorry that you saw this. But they also need to learn forgiveness means we're going to wrap up now, giving you an issue of the Spirit. Remember, we're celebrating 18 years of the Spirit of Virginia, and we're distributing magazines and books every 2 weeks. This is the last one. It's so beautiful because the values the Brazilian medium, we interviewed them back then. So, it was an interview that I did with him just for the magazine, and he has his take. Tell you that he has a lot. He adopted more. 98 years old. Our prayers go to because he was the mother, father of so many kids. And he learned to be a wonderful educator. You prepare for the past. Okay? Let us all help one another by visualizing rays of healing light enveloping all of us and showering us with health, healing, strength, harmonizing us with God. Visualizing flowers of healing, whatever color we feel like it, visualizing these flowers being distributed to everyone, delivering the perfume of calmness and enveloping us in the light of its deep divine nature. Yeah. Let us visualize Master Jesus with us. He is our best friend. He knows exactly what we need, and He's now delivering to us the energy medicine that we need for the bodies. Let us continue feeling the presence of The spirit doctors, the nurses, and the therapists who are still working on each one of us. Let us visualize our best friend, Master Jesus, who loves everyone unconditionally, governs the earth, and is now smiling to us, telling us all is well. We're safe. Everything that happens comes for the highest good. Sorry, who won? It was a tie. It was a tie. We would have won the question. All right, great. Last round. We still ask for everybody's help. Remember, we are sustaining the current so the good spirits can operate upon us. They can operate miracles. The past is the moment of energy transfusion. Let us visualize Master Jesus, his loving care, applying onto us calming energies. He emanates pure love to us, and he repeats, all is well. So, dear friends, let us now prepare ourselves for the final prayer. In this beautiful and blessed morning, let us raise our thoughts. Dear loving God and Master Jesus, we feel honored to be here today in this blessed place on earth. Thank you for giving us the soothing energies and the lessons that we need for our immortality. And especially today, we pray in gratitude to our mothers, and all mothers around the earth. Whenever they are incarnate or discarnate, we send them flowers of gratitude for their choice to conceive us, to give birth to us, and to give us an opportunity of a new life. We thank all mothers for their renunciation, for their work, and for their immense love. And we thank the mothers of all mothers, Mother Mary, who cares for us, never forsakes us, as she comes and reminds us that everything passes and this shall also pass. And enveloped in her blanket of hope, of courage, and of much, much joy of living, we ask the permission of Mother Mary and her emissaries to close this beautiful session of this time.